Okay. Everybody should see now a PowerPoint slide. You guys see this? It's called 2020 offense versus defense. Okay, so I want you to think about the amount of leads or contacts that you generate weekly as your game board. At the end of the week, did you talking about offense and defense, did you win or did you not win? Did you lose? Are you falling behind? Are you in that first quarter where you go, dude, we need to score. We need to score to get to the goal line, to get to the win. That's what today's conversation is about. So I want you to think of, we've talked about it before. We've got 5 months left in 2020, which has been a hell of a year. All of our goals had to be reestablished about 4 months ago. I can't believe when I'm sitting back and I'm talking about, I went into the office the other day and there's some documents sitting on my desk and they're like from the beginning of March. I'm going March, April, May, June, July. It's been 5 months. Oh my God, how much negative baggage have we brought into our lives and into our business thanks to COVID? So if you can, understand and listen, today's goal when we finish this is to hopefully breathe a new mindset into and give you some things that you can do routinely on a habitual basis to win. So first we're going to define the problem, okay? And part of that is looking at statistics. You can't fault statistics. Now we got to throw out the 48% of agents are doing only more than one open house. But have you gotten creative? Are you doing virtual open houses? Are you doing some Facebook Lives in regards to your listings, EXP listings, or other listings that might hit the market? Some of you are also planning on doing neighborhood statistics or videos in regards to affluent neighborhoods. Basically what I'm saying is, an open house is a way to attract people that are in the market. How are you attracting people? What is your strategy to attract people to you outside of an open house? Here's the second thing. 3 times versus 5 times for a lead follow-up equals an average of conversion of 25%. You make 25% more money. What is the strategy that you have currently employed for follow-up? What does that look like? If you need one, actually go into workplace and in executive representation, there is a conversion workflow that helps you to establish, here are the things that need to happen for every lead that hits my business. The follow-up, the Facebook, the cards, the connections, the messages, the texts, the KV core campaigns. Here's the problem, guys. In our industry, we have an 87% agent failure rate over 5 years. Why I put this together is so that I want you to be part of the 13% that wins. Yesterday, Matthew and Susie and I had a great call, and we were talking about what is it that wins for an agent every day. And it's the point where you get to a habitual place where you return to your schedule every day. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say over these past 5 months, there hasn't been times that I've felt lost, because I have, honestly, both in an organizational standpoint, in a business standpoint, in how we're going to do business, in where the market is going. But guess what? That doesn't make me any money. That doesn't bring revenue. What does is, and if you're feeling lost right now, what you got to go back and say is, I need to go back to my schedule. I need to go back to my routine. Whatever that is that worked for you before. And if it didn't work for you before, it's time to establish that new routine. It's getting out of bed every day. It's having an organizational plan that says, here's who I'm going to reach out to today. Here's the people that I'm trying to attract to today. Here's the connections that I'm going to make. If you're feeling lost, the number one thing you should do right after we hang up is put a schedule and a calendar together for you. And lastly, agents who prospect only 5 hours per week make more than other agents, but make a minimum of $200K per year. So we're talking about committing to your business for 1 hour per day, 5 days a week. Okay. So here we go. Out of 3,000 agents surveyed by a top coaching company, and this is really, this is Tom Ferry, okay, for those of you who want to get analytical about it. But the number one holdup that keeps these agents from exploding is mindset. And there's 2 verbs here. There's interested versus committed. Anybody want to, I'm going to ask the question, what do you think the difference between interested versus committed looks like? Anybody?
Interested means that you are just, if something comes up, then, you'll let that get in the way of doing what you need to do. Committed means that you will do it no matter what.
Okay, perfect. Think about this as far as a relationship is concerned. Many of you are married or have significant others, or maybe dating. What is the difference in saying, hey, I'm interested in Eileen or I'm committed to Eileen? That's a whole different mindset, isn't it? Committed looks like I'm going to do whatever it takes, no matter what, to win. If you related this to sports, I'm interested in this game. I'm playing soccer. I'm interested in this game, or I'm committed. It's a mindset thing. So ultimately, and it says under there, I'm willing to take whatever I'm willing to do. I'm willing to take whatever steps it takes, including being uncomfortable. This is the problem with us, as an industry, maybe even in America right now. We're not prepared to get uncomfortable. If you go to a gym, if you're working on your mental health, whatever it is in life that you want to do better at, there's a period of uncomfortableness that comes with success, that comes with changing the mindset. Is it comfortable to role play? Hell no. Is it comfortable for some of you to pick up the phone and make a call? No. Is it comfortable to do a pop by and expose yourself to somebody? Not from a contagious perspective, but from a building of a relationship. For those of you who are system based, hell yes, it is. But understand it. Understand that uncomfortableness will get you to a different level. Number two, organization. They're not strategic. They don't. There's no daily routine there, and that's what I'm going back to. They're not looking at the hot sheets every day that are coming out, or pricing trends, or what's happening with the lending arena, or where there's room for opportunity. Here's what I would challenge you after the call: when you're sitting down and you're writing your new schedule out, where's the room for opportunity for you right now? And there's not a lot of people, especially some of you guys who are in the Bay Area. I'm not seeing a ton of people doing. I mean, Matthew does a nice job of it, but I'm not seeing a ton of people doing the Facebook Lives and some of the other things that that the successful agents are doing. Now's your time to go out there and take market share. So when I see organization, it looks like this: who are you calling today? Is that in a binder? What are you going to say? The who, what, why, when of your business, okay, of your fishing business. Matthew, do you think what were we talking yesterday about analogy? The analogy of the difference between throwing the line out and bait. Can you share that a little bit?
Yeah, so basically we're talking about making sure that you're throwing multiple lines out there so that way you can have constant flow and hopefully you're catching a lot of fish out there. But if you're just, sitting there calling one-to-one every day and only doing a limited time, not doing your 5 hours, then you're really not having any lines out there. So you need to make sure you have multiple streams of lines, which is, for us, we're doing like a lot of video, a lot of live events, a lot of outreach, and like Sean said, do more B2B, and then you can create more lines in the pool, right? But
Yes,
it's really important
exactly.
right now.
Exactly. The analogy is this: you guys are the bait. What's your value proposition? What's your knowledge? What's your strength? What's your, who do you know in the marketplace? What buyers are you working for that you with or for that you can connect? You guys have the bait. That's great. The problem is we need to get the bait into the ocean. And that looks like your actual marketing plan. The organization of, do we have binders every day that say, okay, I'm calling my B2B today, I'm calling my past clients tomorrow, I'm calling my database, I'm calling my corporations. Have all those in a binder. Begin to get organized so that it's easier on you. If I said, I see Angela, you're right here on my front screen out of everybody, and so I'm going to pick on you. But how easy would it be, Angela, if I said, hey, Mondays, today's Wednesday, go and grab your Wednesday binder that's got your scripts, that's got who you're going to call, that's got their phone numbers, and dial them for an hour. That would make it a hell of a lot easier on you and potentially on your staff to make sure it gets done. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying throw the line in. Get organized. Number
I
3.
think one thing to add to that, Sean,
Yeah.
is that the question agents ask is, how do I do it faster, more efficiently? How do I reach out to more people? And the kind of things I come up with is that you can use anything, but as long as you're reaching out as many people as possible, you use systems or not. Hopefully you're using KV Core. If you use your phone, dialing people, or if you use a dialer is faster. Another way I'm outreaching quicker is I'm doing video. So I'm doing a lot of video drops through Facebook, through Loom, just recording it and dropping videos. But the goal is how can I reach out to as many people as I can per day and try to make it effective and hopefully connect with them. Phone is always better if you can't reach them through phone, through video, and just trying to get a connection with them, right?
Perfect.
And that's the issue people have, like connecting with how many people. Like some people connect with 5 a day. Is 5 enough a day? Probably not.
No, it's really not if you want to build that pipeline. But the other thing I would say in regards to organization, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, just pick up the call. The conversation doesn't have to be perfect. Who you're calling, or what you say, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make the calls. It's the activities. It's the throwing the line in that gets you the appointments, that get you the connection. Number 3, fear of mistakes. If you're fearful of making a mistake, you're a business owner. All business owners make mistakes. We have all failed. And in fact, we fail to get educated. So we fail forward versus wisdom. I would say fail faster, fail 10 times faster than your competition. And understand upfront that we're all going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Number 4, they have a wrong or no role model. You have the opportunity here at EXP to talk with some real dynamic people in the real estate industry, whether it's me or Brent Gove or Sheila Fairjohn or Gene Frederick, or if you wanted to talk to the CEO of the company, you could. There's tons of producers now, thousands of top producers at this company. Pick up the phone, call them, ask them, hey, what are you doing right now? If I got a call from any of you, yesterday I got a call from somebody from Florida who saw a post, and I spent 5 minutes on the phone with them, sharing them. Take advantage of the role models that you have. If you need a one-on-one with myself or Matthew or Brent, take advantage of it. Call me, shoot me a text. I'm more than happy. Usually most always available. I'm more than happy to spend a few minutes with you in a coaching one-on-one role, or answer any questions, help you create a roadmap right now. And in fact, for most of you who are in my first line or second line, I'll be reaching out to you next week because it's time to get back in business. It's time to get our head out of the shell and say, wow, we have this opportunity to go and get market share right now. So find a good role model, find a good book, find a good coach. Understand what their model behaviors look like, what their attitudes are. You'll see that there is a characteristic of a top producing agent once you understand, once you study them a little bit, what their habits are, what their rules, what their skills are. Okay, number 5. So here's the gas station analogy. We're not attracting enough clients. There's no prospecting. There's no value. There's no contribution. Anybody understand what the gas station analogy is? What is the gas station? What's the characteristic of a gas station? If you look at the location,
Hello?
they're on every corner, right? You don't find a gas station in some internal street that doesn't have anybody driving by. So you need to be that person out on the corner, attracting people with your signs up, with your social media pushed out, calling your clients, asking for referrals, asking how we can bring value, calling your business partners in the same capacity. You need to be that gas station that's open. Here's the 2 analogies for the gas station. Number 1 is they're on every corner. Number 2 is they're open. How most gas stations are open, what, 9 to 5? When are they open?
No,
24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
24 hours a day, right? So we need to be available to our clients. This is the biggest mystery for me. Our clients work 9 to 5 every day. Most of the time they're available from 5 to midnight or on the weekend. So we need to be shouting our value proposition all the time, shouting our bait, and also available to be open and connected.
One thing about that too, in terms of availability, right? The thing that we use is called Calendly. And if you go to calendly.com/mattmall, that actually makes it so much easier to connect with people, because what happens is it can be a free tool and you can pay for additional, but what happens is that you can make it so easy for people to connect with you. Like right now, I'm getting people to connect with us regarding joining EXP, regarding, buyer, seller, or investor appointments. And I set it up so easily so you guys can look at it and copy it. But basically, it says what the category is and what's our availability. Automatically, it knows the fact that your Google Calendar is already getting full. It'll update it accordingly so that it knows when you're available. But by doing that, your buyers, sellers are making it so much easier to connect with you, to set up an appointment with you, and it even gives them a notification to follow up with you on the day of the event, has a calendar invite, and reminds them so you actually have less chances of losing the call. And that's one way to improve your engagement.
Okay, Calendly.
Calendly.com.
Can you put it in the chat box?
I did. Yeah, you can check out. You can take a look at mine, for example.
Cool. Okay. So going back to this number 5 here, we need the core 4, and this is it. Database. Listen, if you haven't gone into KV Core or whatever database you're utilizing and entered your people in there, your past clients, your business partners, it's time. Stop messing around. Get your butt in there. Make it happen. Number 2, what does your geographic and demographic farm look like currently? Get an electronic geo or demographic farm. We do it. We send out 28,000 emails every week with market updates, and on average, about 1,000 of those people look at it. That's much cheaper, and it's much cheaper than sending out mailers. And I'm getting 1,000 clicks out of 28,000. I mean, look at the ratios. But start an electronic geographic or demographic farm. Number 3, online presence that works. Everybody that you meet, guys, you must make a conscious effort to friend them on Facebook and get them LinkedIn. They now become part of your database. We can't do open houses right now, but like I said, you have to come up with another strategy that you're opening your arms up and trying to bring in people who are in the marketplace right now who are buying and selling. So,
in terms of that, Sean,
those were the top. These were the top 5. Go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. But basically, the way they do that is in KV Core, create an action plan. So every time a new lead comes in, automatically in your action plan, have it set up a reminder for you or your assistant to add them to your Facebook, add them to Instagram, add them to LinkedIn, and that way you're never remembering. It becomes more automatic. It doesn't do it for you, but it reminds you or your assistant to do it, and then that way you get the action done.
That's right. And we're dumping multiple streams of paid and not paid contacts, or let me say touches. Let me use that word, into KV Core. When they reach back out to us based on the campaigns that we have, they now become a contact, and those contacts then we can put in our conversion pipeline to reach out, to text, to double down on. So what I would ask is, what's feeding your KV Core as far as your pillar of people you don't know, what we would call haven't met folks? So for us right now, we're using ZBuyer. We're using the Zapier to import My Plus leads. My Plus leads has expireds, they have FISBOs, they have notices of default. And then we're using the property boosts as well. And the connections, the reach back to us through text has been mind-blowing. So get those, what I'm saying is get those set up. If you need help with those, reach out to us. We'll help you. All right. So number 6, and I just alluded to this, Monday through Friday mentality of working 9 to 6. And we've got to get out there and we got to make those appointments. If we're really prospecting and we've got those leads that are coming in, the 10 a week, or hell, even starting out with 5 a week, those are going to eventually turn in, there's a typo here, but those are eventually going to turn into appointments. And this is the difference in mentality when we go back between having a job and being a business owner. If we have a job, it's like, oh my God, we got to work 9 to 5 today for a salary. If we have a business, you'll do whatever, you'll be there from dawn till dusk, because you don't want to see it fail. I want you guys to have that mentality. It's like, I'm running a business. This isn't a job. Number 7, there's no sales swagger. We've got to continuously work on our sales experiences, our ability to overcome objections. This goes back to the offense and defense. If you're going to a listing appointment or a Zoom appointment, you've got to assume that client is going to come at you defensively. How are you disarming them? What is your offensive play to get you to the goal line of signing an agreement with them? Our experience, our ability to negotiate, to follow up, to follow through what we say, And ultimately, we can't be afraid of rejection. We've got to leave everything on the table, right? I always say that on the listing appointment. It's like, leave it all on the table, man. You may not have another chance to be back in front of that person in order to sign the listing agreement. Or, even the other day where I was on an appointment and I'm talking to Hal, I see you up there. I'm talking to you on the Zoom appointment. And at the same time I'm talking to you, I'm putting the contract together in car forms. And before I get off that call, it's like the DocuSign is there. Let's go ahead and sign it. Don't leave anything up to chance. There's too much right now. Business is too important for you, for your survival. And it's just good business tactics to utilize these sales experience and skill. Number 8, there's no measurable goal. At the end of this week, let me just throw it out there. How do you know if you won or lost? How do you know if your business won or lost? We're talking about having a conversation with yourself that says, okay, what does it look like? How many leads did I generate based on my, based on my touches and my outbound, lead engine, and how many of those turned into appointments and contracts? If we don't know, we can't know if we're winning and we can't know if we're growing. So guys, the measurable goal each week, if I had a one-on-one call with you on Friday, it would look like this. How many leads, ultimately, how many leads did you generate? How many appointments did you set? And what is those contracts? How many contracts did you sign? Without contracts, listing or written contracts for buyers, we're not bringing in any revenue. So what's your measurable goal? Number 9, poor schedule and weak routines. This is number 1. You look at the top producing agents across the nation who have survived every type of market, up and down. They have a stellar routine, a stellar schedule, stellar discipline on a daily basis. If you show me your schedule, that would predict your success in this industry. And I would say in any sales job. And then number 10 is the 5 struggles of prospecting. Here's the deal. When you prospect, you've heard me say this before, when you prospect, you're in control of your business. So what does the 5 struggles look like? Number 1, you don't know who to call. You haven't identified what pillars are going to move your business forward. What do I mean when I say pillar, guys?
Revenue stream.
Okay, yes. Specifically, what's a pillar?
Like online leads or
Okay.
or expireds or your channel that you use to get leads.
That's right. Business to business. Back in the day, open houses, for sale by owners, your database, your networking groups, all of those above. You haven't decided what your pillars are going to be. If I could go back and somebody would have said to me, when I joined Remax in 2004, nobody told me this. So for you new agents, if you want to be successful in real estate, you got to decide right now, what are going to be my pillars of success? What do I feel comfortable in doing? What matches or aligns with my disc profile, with who I am? Is it a system or a relationship? And go out and kill it. For those of you who have been in business for a long time, who are successful, what are you adding to your pillar? What are you adding to your pillars? This is why it's so important, though, that we work on our sales skills. Once we master those 3, we've got to come up with a whole new set of skills. I used to go to listing appointments and I got every one. Well, why? Because that was my comfort zone. It was my database and my referral network and my business to business. Once I added a pillar of online leads or lead referrals through outside sources that I didn't know, guess what happened to my conversion ratio? It went down. Why? Because I'm using the same script techniques and dialogues that I'm using with people who know, like, and love me, with people who don't know, like, and love me. So I got to change my sales skills, okay? This is why we're always in growth mode. So number 1, you have to decide right now, what are your 3 pillars? And you've heard me say this before, 1 to 3 equals an okay business. 3 to 6 pillars equal a good business. 6 to 9 pillars, a great business. 9+ pillars is an amazing business. So the sooner we can add these pillars, the better off we're going to be as far as producing. Number 2, you don't know what to say. Many of you are fearful in making calls because you have no idea how to overcome objections on the other end. If you are that person right now, I would suggest that you have a talk with self and say, self, I really need to know what the hell to say on these calls. I really need to know how to overcome objections, whether that's watching YouTube videos of people who are doing it, or grabbing a script book, or calling Hal Schlegel and saying, Hal, do you want to do some role play with me for an hour? So that phone. Do you want to do some role play with me for an hour? You must, because this is your defense, guys. If you are going into that non-confident, what do you think happens on the other end of the call? They feel that. So if you are confident in what you're going to say, how you're going to overcome the objection, you're going to win that call. Offense, defense. Every call you make has a goal, number one, and every call you make has to have an offensive move to get you to that goal. So understand scripts, dialogues, rejections, and overcoming objections. Number 3, there's a lack of a plan. As far as those pillars go, what that plan should look like is the theme days, right? I know who I'm going to call every day. I know what I'm going to say. I know what time I'm going to do it. I know how I'm going to maneuver that call. Where am I going to make the call? And how often I'm going to call them. So get a plan together once you decide who your pillars are and what you're going to say. Number 4, environment. It's not conducive to success. What does that mean?
You're distracted. You're not set up correctly to be able to win.
Okay, so give me some techniques out there that you have that set your environment up so that you can win.
I have like boards up that I can reference. I have a script book that is available to me. So that way, if I get stumped, I can look through the script book, keep it quiet, that sort of thing. Like, tell the people partying outside to stop.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Here's what I know about agents after coaching them and after being a manager and a team leader. And I'm sure how you will, and whoever else is on the call that's been in that position before, most agents will find anything in their environment not to prospect. I'm hungry. I need some water. My computer's not set up right. I haven't got my mouse batteries done. I can't use this computer. All of the above. So what you have to go in as a business owner, this goes back to what we've talked about previously. As a business owner, we've got to say, dude, this isn't a job. This is my business. This is my revenue, my income, my legacy. Set your environment up. You've got to take time out to get the environment right. Okay. Sometimes that may have included things I've heard in the past is locking the door on people. Sometimes it's, hey, you understand that to create a habit, there has to be a carrot most of the time or a whip. Okay, read the book Habits, and it says, hey, until you give yourself something of reward, you're probably not going to change your habit. So for you, if you're prospecting, if you go, man, I love food and I love lunch and this is awesome, dude, make it a game for yourself, which would look like I'm going to prospect from 10 to noon every day, and guess what my reward is at noon? I get to go to lunch. Okay, gamify your business. Anyway, that's what environment means. And number 5, personal psychology. This is what you're telling yourself. What are you telling yourself right now about your business? This is your mindset. This is your self-talk. I guarantee the psychology of our mind, because we want to protect ourselves anthropologically, is don't do it. Don't get outside of your comfort zone. If you're uncomfortable, your heart's going to beat a little bit faster. And your blood pressure is going to go up. And if your blood pressure goes up, then your body, it's going to start sweating. And if you sweat, oh my God, all these things are uncomfortable. Get over it. Okay? It's the self-talk that keeps you from being a rock star. This is why a lot of people, and I used to think it was bullshit, but a lot of people have affirmative, they wake up and do affirmative, what is the word I'm looking for? Affirmative self-talk to themselves. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to be successful. That's great. But when you're making these calls, guys, here's what this means, okay? Baseball players just don't go out on the field and start playing baseball. What do they do before? They practice. They warm up before the game. Why do they do that?
So you stay in the game.
Stay in the game so you can win, right? We practice. We practice to win. We practice to work on our offense. We practice to work on our defense. We practice for confidence. And it's a hell of a, once you've done these things and you've practiced, and if I spent 2 hours with Matthew or Angela or Eileen or Hal or Brian or, who else is on the call? Shannon, Samantha, Angie, if I spent 2 hours each morning practicing with you guys for a week, at the end of that week or the beginning of the next week when I picked up the phone call, you're going to have a lot more confidence than you would the week before? Hell yeah. So we've got to understand that our personal psychology is holding us back. Your mindset in the sales world is everything. It's why it's so important we do these calls and you jump on these calls and you plug in and you don't feel isolated. We're here to help, but we're here to overcome the fear so that we know what to say. We do the work. We be the best person. And we have a business that wins. All right. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So here's the big
Hi.
question. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was going to say, hi, Sean. Yeah, I love the role-playing idea. I've been watching a little bit of YouTube videos, and then since I'm so new, attending the contracts classes, I attended the first one today, but I'd love to, if we can do a meeting like this down the line with role-playing, that'd be a lot of fun.
Let's
I would love
schedule
that.
it. Let's do it. Let's schedule it. Chrissy, you there? Let's get an hour and a half role play Zoom call on the schedule for next week.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, we'll send it out. We'll take a look at the schedule and we'll put it on there. Done. Okay, so how do we overcome this fear of prospecting? Some of you may not, so just bear with us. But these should be, if you're running an organization, if you have people in your organization, here's the deal right now. And I'm talking to a lot of other industries that have salespeople. Salespeople's closings are down right now. No doubt for one reason, it's mindset. A lot of you guys are feeling, like I said before, a lot of you guys are feeling isolated, but understand, dude, now's your time to gain the market share. So how do we overcome the fear of prospect? Here's the truth. A lot of us got into this business going, wow, we love real estate. I love the architecture. I love, investments. The bottom line is here above everything else, our job is to connect and broker deals between buyers and sellers. So we're in the sales industry, and that involves talking to people about real estate every day. The less we talk to people about real estate, ultimately, the less money we make. This business is about planting seeds, cultivating, and harvesting. The agents that plant the most seeds have the largest harvests. But this information is not enough. Once we know this is like me telling you, here's the truth. You eat lots of sugar and drink alcohol and don't diet and don't work out. What happens?
Get fat.
We get fat. Okay, does that stop you from doing it?
No.
Okay, so information is not enough. What do you think is?
You have to be motivated.
Yes, and you have to have this mindset that says what? I'm going to win.
Yeah.
So how do you change mindset, guys? There's two ways, right? I can't motivate you. You guys have all been either employees, employers, bosses, leaders. Can you motivate people?
Temporarily.
You can try. I love it, Eileen. Here's what I've found. You can change somebody's environment and their education to the point that they decide that they want to motivate themselves. I can't tell you, Eileen, by me telling you, Eileen, you need to prospect tomorrow for 5 hours. Is that going to change your world? No. But if I said, Eileen, here's how we can win together. Let me give you some tools and resources and change your environment and give you a better understanding of the way the world works. That may motivate you. So bottom line is, I want you to understand information is not enough. Information is the opposite of action. You understand that? So we must get into activity. We must create actions every day for our business. So, sorry, these are old. We can change these right now for the rest of 2020. Boom. And what does this look like for the rest of 2020? So make a decision that looks like this. What does your business look like come January 2021. And I want you to write it down. What does that look like for you? It's going to be measurable in 3 ways: unit count, volume, or gross commission income. Whatever way you want to, they all equal the same thing. But what does your business look like for the rest of 2020? Okay, we have this thing in our world, and I highlight it here, but it's called profit. Right? We're all in this business for a profit. We understand our sales contribute to the success of our business, and our business contribute to the success of our profit. What comes before sales?
Leads.
Okay, what comes after profit?
Expenses.
Okay, personal revenue comes after profit, right? If
Yeah.
Hal does his profit and loss for the month and it says, okay, Hal, we made our business because of our sales made $20,000 this month. How much of that goes to Hal's personal account? It's up to him, but as much as $20,000. This is the way we have to think about on a routine basis our business. If you owned a retail store, if you owned any type of other business, how long would you be in business if you didn't do a profit and loss?
Not long.
Yeah, I always use the Subway analogy for some of you, and that's like this. Chrissy, if I gave you a Subway, or I bequeathed upon you a Subway franchise, and you didn't do a profit and loss, you wouldn't stay in business for very long, right? You don't know why. If I'm in a sales related world and I go back and I go, wow, there's zero profit right now for my business. I got a lot of expenses, but we're in the negative. What does that tell us about our sales? Goose egg, right? It tells us we're either not knowledgeable, we can't overcome objections, or we're just not organized enough to get on the damn phone every day, or go visit people, or get on the Zoom call, or contact people from our LinkedIn page, or a database, or a Facebook, or whatever, because we don't know what to say. What I would say is, overall, you don't have to know what to say. You just have to have the overriding goal for every call you make to change somebody's life and to provide value and to give them an increment of your energy for that day. That's what sales is about today. Okay, number 4. Or number 4, number 3, create an amazing follow-up plan. And I'm going to go into that next, so I'm not going to dive into this. The next one, personal and business, get your personal and business finances right. This means creating a monthly profit and loss and understanding what your survivability number is for your own personal business. Survivability number means how much does it take for me to live on a monthly basis? Housing, utility, car, gas, all those things. What is that number? And that number then will dictate plus what you want to save will dictate what your business has to do on a routine basis. That predictable number then can turn into a number of units or volume or GCI. What I'm saying. Next one, utilize a lead tracker. If you don't have a lead tracker, go into Workplace right now and download the team accountability packet. As I've talked about before, you can have a contact tracker, you can have a business to business tracker, but you must have a lead tracker ultimately. And what's your lead tracker gonna have on it, guys? Who's using a lead tracker out there that can share what should be on the lead tracker? Anybody? Come on, who's on this call?
Their phone number. I'd say their phone number, their email. Did you send them a Facebook post, a LinkedIn post,
Cool.
Or message them on any one of those? Did you send them an email, text?
Are they a buyer or are they a seller?
Are they a buyer or seller?
I added them to KV Core and I put them on a campaign. What's their goal? What's their timeline? When should I follow up with them? All those things need to be on your lead tracker so you can go back and look at it at a different time. All right, so then at the end of each week, we have our 4 conversations, which looks like how many touches, how many contacts, how many appointments and written contracts, and how many closings. And then understand, the understanding that we're a salesperson and salespeople have quota. We train every day. This is a contact sport, and certainly is. Here's an example of the follow-up campaign. You guys, if you want this, you can snap a shot with your phone, but after you put them in that lead tracker, what's your goal? After you put them in the lead tracker, the goal is to get in front of them, right? Whether that's Zoom or in face-to-face in person. This goes for everything in the sales related world. If Chrissy reaches back out to me from a Facebook post and said, hey, I'm kind of interested, can you show me this house? My goal is to get her on the lead tracker, connect with her, get her all those. Remember we talked about at the beginning, the difference between 3 to 5 follow-ups is 25% more closure ratio. What if you went to 8 leads or 8 follow-ups? What would happen then? Well, just empirically, you would understand that if I followed up 3 more times versus 5, my conversion ratio would go way up. So Susie called me yesterday and said, hey, I prospected a seller lead and I got a 3 o'clock appointment. What do? The first thing I go is, who are they? Study their business, understand who they are. What did I say? Susie, are you on the call? Maybe not, but I said, go on their Facebook page. Why? What are they wearing? Are they wearing something flashy? Are they wearing something drab? What do they like to do? How can I connect with them? Send them a note card, send them an email, send them a calendar invite, give them a call confirmation, send them a text, send them an agenda of the call, send them, if they're a business person, send them a recording that you think may change their business. Email them a pre-listing packet.
Hey, Sean, I'm here.
Yeah, good, Susie.
Yeah, so actually yesterday what I did was after I got that appointment, I sent him an email with my YouTube recording for with the weekly market report, and then I sent him a CMA and also a property report. But the thing is, I guess I made the appointment too close to my call because he didn't have a chance to look over them before my call. Or before our appointment. So I think that's one thing that I can work on is making sure that they actually look at it and watch it. Right. So
Perfect. But it's understand most of the time, guys, it's not about the content, it's about the touch. And a lot of people I see who have campaigns going in KB Core and they want the perfect paragraph or the perfect verbiage in there. It's not about the verbiage. It's about the subject line, right? And it's just about the touch. Hey, I saw something from Andre come in my email. Yeah, Andre is in the back of my mind. That's branding, right? But it's those 7 touches, 8 touches where now there's some consistency there. And with consistency brings trust. And with trust brings the ability to friendship and like. And with like and friendship brings they want to do business with you. So these are the things that we're doing prior to the appointment. These are the systems. And then after the appointment, okay, you guys have probably seen these in any of the seminars that I do. Why? Because most of you don't use these. You say, Sean, you show me this shit every week. And it's because you haven't implemented it yet. So when I see 80% of you guys implement these things, I'll start harping on it. But ultimately, these are the things that lead to conversion as a salesperson. Understand, being a salesperson means understanding the sales cycle. Part of the sales cycle is conversion. Agreed? Everybody shake their head out there. Yes. Okay, great. So after the appointment, I'm going, okay, I'm texting them. Great to meet you. Love to meet your acquaintance. I can't wait to do business with you. And we're sending them note cards for connection, and we're executing promises, and we're sending emails out, and we're following up, and we're scheduling the next appointment. Most of you guys fail to make the magic move after each appointment. If you go to an appointment or have a phone call and you don't schedule the follow-up activity, you're leaving money on the table. You're creating co-marketing agreements for business-related people that you're meeting with. You're practicing your scripts of what you say. Some of you out there are going, man, I don't like scripts. Some of you new agents are going, man, I feel like that's getting sold. I made that mistake too. Here's what you need to do. Internalize the scripts and understand that just like if you guys study movies at all, you'll know that movie scripts have a start, beginning, hook, drama, bring you in, and then they have a closing. Understand you need to internalize your scripts for yourself so that it makes you comfortable, but you truly are following a structure to get them to close on them. and understand then also 4, family, occupation, recreation, dream. I'm sitting down with Hal. I'm going to ask him, hey, dude, what do you like to eat? Tell me about your family. Tell me, why are you doing real estate? What does that mean for you long term? What are your dreams? I'm connecting with them. Okay, these are things that we do before the appointment and after the appointment that systematize our business. Okay, moving right along. What time is it? Okay, got 4 minutes and I got 2 slides left. This is perfect. Let's change this. Okay, rest of 2020. Hire a coach, find a mentor, contact us, get a pod coaching group together. Practice your scripts every day. Time block. Please, time block. If you're feeling lost right now, go back to your schedule. Always. It's like if any of you are golfers, right? I'm a golfer. So here's what I think. When shit starts going crazy and I'm slicing the ball and I'm fatting the ball, what do? I go back to the basics, okay? I don't try to reinvent the wheel, find a new golf swing, get new equipment. I go, dude, I need to go back to the basics. What's the basics? In golf, it's grip, it's stance, it's alignment. Just like in real estate, if you're feeling lost, go back to your schedule. Number 3, understand training growth never stops. If you're not, it's so important that you invest in yourself. If you're that person right now out there that goes, man, I'm just too busy to train and script and this and that and the other, you're going to get behind the times. You got to be working on your leadership skills. People go, why would I want to be working on my leadership skills? Because it's your job to lead the client. If you're not influential, if you don't know what to say or have leadership abilities, your clients are never going to follow you. Number 4, and those clients start with that initial phone call, that initial connection. Number 4, create a scoreboard. How do you know if you're winning or losing? What's that scoreboard going to have? At the end of each week, it better have how many leads I got and how many contracts I got. Okay? If I was your coach and you related this to football and we go, dude, this week we had a game, what your game should be your week. And I look at it and I go, at the end of the week, you got no written contracts and you got no listing. What am I going to tell you as your coach? You didn't score. What are we doing that's wrong? Do we need to train more? Do we need more time on the field? Or are you just not giving, are you just interested in this business and not committed? Are you interested or committed? Create the scoreboard. Number 3, 3 marketing plans to communicate with your database immediately. Your database should start with your top 25. If you don't know where to begin, I want you to write down the top 25 people in the world that love you, that know you, that will refer you business, and go and send them a card and a gift right now. And then follow that card and gift up with a call. And just say, hey, I want you to know COVID sucks, but the market's hot. I'm still in the game. I'm committed to my clients. And I was just wondering, I identified you as one of the top 25 people in the world that would help me out. Can you help me? People love to help other people. Can you help me? How can you help me? I start that script. What are you going to say?
Yes.
Sure, Sean. What do you need? Well, man, it's been a hell of a 5 months with COVID. And I'm just wondering, I sat down, my coach said, identify the top 25 people in the world that would that would refer business or give me a testimonial, and identified you as one of them. And how, I'm just hoping I can count on you to, do you know anybody who's currently in the market to buy or sell? That's not a hard conversation if they're in your top 25. So on top of that's one marketing plan I just gave you. Create 3 others, but get in connection with those top 25 right now if you're struggling. And the next, hours of power. Your power hour, I said it earlier. The agent who does 1 hour of prospecting every day makes at minimum $200,000 and succeeds. So you got to have your hour of power. You got to set your environment. You got to get rid of the drama, close the door, understand who you're calling on a routine basis, and then work on the other shit that gets in your way. All this drama stuff, the inbound calls that don't make you any money, the family calls that come in on a routine basis, the email and the social media, all that is costing you money. Set your environment up so that you are rocking it every day. And so that at the end of the week, you can write up on your board, hey, dude, I got 4 leads. what happens is you'll notice there's a momentum that occurs in your business. If you can look up at your board each week and go, wow, man, the fruits of my labor yielded that, it will start to create momentum for you. Okay, we're almost done. Next, if you're still struggling, we got to change this to 2020. My apologies, guys, but hopefully this content is good. And I'm going to be exhausted after this because I'm giving you a lot of energy today, which I love. This really pumps me up. So teach a class. If all of those things don't work, teach a class, hold a seminar, become a leader for a network group, create your own networking group. Work on your leadership skills as determined before. Create your prospecting theme days with your binders. Next, for those new agents, stop making statements. Stop telling them what you want to do, giving them your agenda. Understand the power of questions. I had it over there. There's a great book called Question-Based Selling. You should be a student of that. There's more power in questions than there ever is in statements. We go deep, help them relate, find their goals, understand their why versus their what. Their what is, I need to sell a house. I need to buy a house. Why is that important? Okay? And then finally wrapping up those questions. What is important to you about buying a home? What does purchasing a home mean to your family? Ultimately, what will selling your home mean or do for you? What will buying a home do for you? Is it just a place to live? Is it raise your family? My family's never bought a home before. I'm the first one to own a home. Understand what their motivation is and their uniqueness. And then ultimately, what's your elevator speech? What's your value proposition and why they should work with you? If I asked you that question, do you have a canned response that doesn't include anything about your past history, but make certain that you care about them? Why do you want to work with me? Here's why. Because when clients work with me, they get an excellent level of communication, which relieves their stress. And I'm an expert negotiator, and here's why that's important to you. Because I will negotiate the best price for you and your family on a purchase, and on a sale, I will, we'll negotiate the best market price for you. That's what it means to them. Okay, boom, 12:03. Sorry, I'm 3 minutes late. Stop share. I'm gonna go here. Boom, I'm done.
Chrissy, will you add me to the email list for these meetings? It's Samantha.
Oh, sure, I thought I had, but I'll double check and make sure you're on there. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Could you add me as well, please?
Who is that? Oh, Brian. Yes, you got it.
Yeah, I think Chrissy and I talked yesterday about going through the organizational list and making sure we've got that updated.
Good idea.
For everybody though, and especially leaders or generals here, please share this with your folks. We try and make it routine. Obviously, last week, apologies for missing, but usually it's 11 a.m. On Wednesdays, and then we have the 2 p.m. Kind of generals or building your organizational call as well. Hey, any feedback from today's? We had a pretty good turnout today, guys. I mean, I'm looking on here. Any feedback from the information or ahas that you would be willing to share?
Great content, Sean. Good job.
Thanks, Al. Appreciate that.
Really good one. I have some ahas. This is Angie.
Hey, Angie.
Hey, I've been in business for a really long time and used to study, our scripts way back when, over and over and over. And I'm reminded that I need to go back to that and restudy scripts.
Exactly. Anybody else before we wrap up? I appreciate you guys staying a little late.
Thank you.
We good?
Yep.
Sean, I think
Now here's the challenge. Go and implement this. Next week when we get on this call, there would be nothing more that would, I don't want to use that word, that would make me happy than for you to turn your camera around and for me to see your game board with some numbers on it. Okay? Would that be awesome?
Yeah.
Yep.
Information versus implement. Go get them. Love you guys. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Still there, Hal? I see
I'm
you.
trying to exit.
Have a great day.
Later, buddy. Take care.
Okay, bye.